Very scary.
Since this is a horror game, I think we should set the mood. That's better.
Over the past year, the Resident Evil franchise has become one of my favorite game series. I love the characters, the exploration, the atmosphere, the combat, at least in the later games. Now, for context, before playing this, I had only played all the remakes, Code Veronica X, and 5 and 6. So I had some experience, but I had never played the PS1 original. They added Director's Cut to the PlayStation Plus on PS5, so that's what I played for this video. Since it is technically an emulation, there were save states that I used to the fullest potential.
For real though, it's getting kinda dark. I think we should start playing.
Before we start, I get a choice between Chris Redfield and Jill Valentine. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it. You pick Jill because of her expanded inventory. There are no substantial reasons for you to pick Chris, so from now on, this is the Jill show. The game starts off with some narration and a live-action cutscene with some, questionable acting.
Hey! Come here!
The story so far is that the Alpha team of the Special Tactics and Rescue Service, or STARS, is searching for the missing Bravo team that went missing in the Arcalay Mountains. They get attacked by some monstrous rabid dogs, and then their helicopter pilot Brad abandons them.
No! Don't go!
So they take refuge in the nearby mansion.
Chris Redfield. Jill Valentine. Barry Burton. Rebecca Chambers. Albert Wesker.
Triple Nipple. Batfield. Mitchell Myers. Daniel Sexton. Two Link.
Resident Evil.
Once inside the mansion, they realize that Chris is missing, so all that's left is Jill, Barry, and Captain Wesker. Jill and Barry go to the next room, and you soon discover the first horror awaiting you in this mansion is, tank controls.
Wait, hold on. I don't see any big fancy tank vehicles.
Tank controls means pressing up means forward and down means backwards, no matter which way you're facing. You use left and right to turn. It's got a little bit of a learning curve, but since I'm a pro gamer, I got it real quick. You go into the next room and you see the first zombie, and you put it down like the boss bitch that you really are. You explore the mansion a little bit, you punt kick a zombie's head, and Barry calls you the master of unlocking.
Dick, it might be handy if you, the master of unlocking, take it with you.
Jill finds a shotgun, and you know I stuck with that for the rest of the game. Just listen to the headshot sound. On the way out, the ceiling starts to collapse, but then Barry busts in to save you.
That was too close. You were almost a Jill sandwich.
What? Jill questions why Barry was over here to help her, and he's acting all suspicious.
But Barry, didn't you say you're going back to the dining room to do some research? Why on earth are you here?
I just had something I wanted to check.
Jill's main goal at this point is to find 5 medallions to use to escape the mansion through the back door. You find them by exploring, juking some zombies, solving puzzles, reading files. Yes, I'm infected. I did everything I could, but I could only delay the progress by a few days. The most frightening thing is that I forget more about you by the day, so I choose a peaceful death rather than becoming the living dead. After exploring some more and going up the stairs with Jill's Terminator steps, Jill plays the piano with a shotgun and she finds one of the members from Bravo team dying on the ground.
Oh, Jill, this house is dangerous. There are terrible demons. Ouch!
Jill gets him some serum, but it's too late and he dies on the ground. But you do get some free ammo from him. She goes into the attic and meets Yawn the snake. Yes, the snake's name is Yawn, and it traps you in the corner. After getting the final medallion from Yawn's attic, you get out of the house and into the garden. Jill makes her way through the garden and the trees start pooping out snakes, and she ends up in the guardhouse. The guardhouse is overrun by a plant infected with the T-virus, the same thing affecting all the people making them zombies. Jill finds a secret passage to an underground lab, and I ended up spending way more time on this block puzzle than I should have. Jill is attacked by some very pathetic sharks and finds the root of the plant. She uses some poison that took me forever to make because I didn't realize you had to find the notes about the poison before you could make it. God, that was dumb! Jill murders some sharks in cold blood, goes back upstairs to find some scary-ass spiders, like, for real, this was the scariest part of the game. She goes to face that plant thing head-on and kills it in like 5 seconds. She gets a key for the mansion, and on her way out, she finds Wesker acting suspicious.
Where on earth have you been? You disappeared from the hall all of a sudden.
I'm sorry, but I have my reasons.
And apparently he left some weird-ass bees on the ground. Jill gets back to the mansion and is attacked by these green lizard-looking things called hunters. These guys are fast and will put you down with a couple swipes, but thankfully, once again to my pro gamer skills, I didn't die to them once. Jill gets back to the save room and finds that Barry, being the gentleman that he is, left a bunch of ammo and healing items for Jill. After some more mansion exploring, Jill runs into Yawn the snake again, and she promptly murders it without a second thought. She finds a hole in the ground as Barry shows up with a rope, and suggests that you go down by yourself.
How about going down to check by yourself?
Wait a minute!
After you go down, Barry drops the rope.
Hey, what's going on?
Now I've done it. Sorry, Jill. Wait. I'll go and get another rope.
The hole leads to the kitchen, which has some questionable music choices. Jill and Barry meet up again and end up in some caves where they find another member of Bravo team who gets assassinated right in front of them.
The stars are doomed. Someone is a traitor. Everything was plotted from the start by Umbrella. Ha!
I wonder who it could be. Jill and Barry get separated again, so she has to fight this giant spider by herself that she promptly kills in 5 seconds. She eventually ends up in a fountain with a secret entrance to a hidden lab. In the lab, she finds some naked zombies. Ugh, oh my god, cover that shit up. There, that's better. Jill gets on a computer that explains everything. A pharmaceutical company called Umbrella has been doing experiments under the mansion to make bioweapons. They've been working on something called the T-virus, but there's been an outbreak. That's why there's been zombies and monsters all over the mansion. Jill finds some slides with some info on the monsters, with Wesker in one of the pictures? It's still a mystery. After some more exploring, finding naughty pictures and running from chimeras, Jill finds Wesker, and he's been the mole this whole time? And Barry's been working with him?
Dun dun dun!
Turns out this whole thing was a setup. STARS was sent in there to act as test dummies to see how effective the T-virus would be against people. Wesker threatened Barry's family to make Barry cooperate with him, but then suddenly, Barry helps Jill. They go into the next room to find the Tyrant, the supposed ultimate bioweapon that Jill destroys with very little trouble. Jill and Barry escape, but on the way, Jill rescues Chris, and he and Barry have a little bro moment. Jill makes it to the helipad, but oh no, the Tyrant is still alive! Jill destroys the Tyrant again, and probably the hardest boss fight of the entire game. Jill, Barry, and Chris all escape together in a helicopter, ending the game. That was the single scariest game I have ever played. Over 20 years later, Resident Evil Director's Cut still holds up pretty well. My only real problem is a few outdated things like not being able to switch out ammo types in the grenade launcher without emptying it first, or the limited control options, but everything else is still great. The atmosphere is still old school kinda scary, and the gameplay loop and exploration is still fun. This was a fun time overall, and I recommend you check it out, especially since it's on the PS5 now. I think I'm gonna turn the lights back on now. This mood lighting is a little too moody.